In the next 60 seconds, I am going to tell you something that the National Weather Service just confirmed this morning, and it is going to change your plans for the next 2 weeks. Stay with me because by the time we hit the 3-minute mark, I will have given you a precise hour-by-hour breakdown for your city. I am talking about more than 250 cities across this country, so drop what you are doing and do not touch that screen. Here is the number that stopped me cold when I first saw it. 6 inches, 6 full inches of rain in 10 days, and that is the conservative estimate. Some models, the ones meteorologists call outliers but refuse to ignore, are showing double-digit totals. We are talking 10, 11, maybe 12 inches of rainfall across the middle of this country between now and March 10th. That is not a spring shower. That is a full-scale pattern flip, and it is arriving faster than most people realize. Before we get into city-by-city timing, let me ask you one question. Do you know what a cutoff low-pressure system is? Because one is about to form right off the coast of Baja California, and the moment it does, it will act like a giant switch, pulling warm, moisture-loaded air from the Gulf of Mexico and the East Pacific all the way up into the heartland. The dry Arctic air that has been choking the plains and suppressing rainfall for months, gone. Replaced almost overnight by a subtropical jet stream loaded with Gulf moisture. I will show you exactly when that switch flips in your area. Stay with me. At the 3-minute 20 mark, I am going to tell you about a severe weather event on Wednesday, March 4th, that meteorologists are already watching with serious concern. And I will tell you which neighborhoods are in the direct path. But first, let me give you the big picture, because context matters. This winter, the last 90 days covering December, January, and February, was a tale of 2 countries. The West and the South ran warm. The East ran cold. The Ohio Valley and the Northeast saw brutal cold snaps and significant snowfall, including a historic nor'easter that buried parts of Rhode Island under 40 inches of snow just about a week ago. 40 inches. That is more than 3 feet of snow in a single storm. Yet even with all of that winter activity, the Northeast ended the season below normal on total precipitation. That tells you how dry and moisture-starved those clipper systems coming down from Canada really were. Meanwhile, down in Florida and southern Georgia, the situation is not just dry, it is critical. The latest drought monitor shows extreme drought, that is the red category on the map, covering most of the state of Florida and spreading into parts of southern Georgia. And here is the part that should alarm you if you live there. The forecast for the first 10 days of March shows little to no meaningful rainfall for the southeast. That means Florida and southern Georgia are looking at a real possibility of sliding into exceptional drought, the most severe category on the scale in the coming weeks. Exceptional drought. That affects water supplies, wildfire risk, agriculture, and your daily life. If you are in Florida right now, pay attention to this. Your water district may issue restrictions. Wildfire danger will remain elevated. This is not a short-term problem. Now, for the rest of the country, for the nearly 100 million people who live from Texas up through Missouri and across to Ohio, the news is very different. And it is arriving fast. Let me walk you through the timing now, and I want you to know this is not vague. This is specific. This is what you need to know. Tuesday, March 3rd, that is the day this pattern change begins to bite down. A flatter jet stream moves into place and starts funneling rain bands repeatedly through the Missouri Ozarks and the Ohio Valley. If you live in Springfield, Missouri, or Joplin, or Rolla, or Cape Girardeau, Tuesday afternoon and evening is when the first round of heavy rain begins. Expect an onset of rain between noon and 3 in the afternoon. It will peak through the evening hours, roughly 6 to 10 at night. And then the system does something unusual. Instead of moving through and ending, it stalls. The jet stream keeps pumping new rounds of moisture into the same areas. This is what sets up the flooding risk. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, continued heavy rainfall across southern Missouri, western Kentucky, southern Illinois, and into parts of western Tennessee. Wednesday, March 4th. This is the day circled in red on every operational meteorologist's calendar right now. And I want you to understand what we are watching, because this is not just a rain event. The Storm Prediction Center, that is the federal agency in Norman, Oklahoma that monitors severe weather for the entire country, has already issued a slight risk of severe weather for Wednesday. That is a 2 out of 5 on their scale, and it was issued several days in advance, which tells you this system has serious energy behind it. Here is the area that concerns me most. Draw a line from Fort Smith, Arkansas, southwest through southeastern Oklahoma, then south through the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex down toward Texarkana, that corridor that is the zone. And here is the timing you need to know if you live there. Wednesday morning, roughly 6 to 10 in the morning, storms fire in northern Oklahoma. We are looking at the Tulsa area, Stillwater, Enid. These storms will initially be hail producers. Large hail, some potentially baseball-sized, is the primary threat in the morning hours. Then watch what happens Wednesday afternoon, starting around noon and building through the evening hours. Those storms organize and push south and east. They drop into the Red River Valley, they cross east of Interstate 35, east of Dallas, and that is when the threat profile changes. Supercell thunderstorms capable of producing damaging winds, very large hail, and yes, tornadoes. Not guaranteed, but not something you wave off. A couple of tornadoes cannot be ruled out. All hazards are on the table. If you live in any of these cities, here is your Wednesday timeline. Dallas, Texas. Storms arrive from the northwest between noon and 2 in the afternoon. Peak threat from 2 to 7 in the evening. Damaging wind gusts, large hail, tornado possible. Have your plan ready before noon, Fort Worth, Texas. Similar timing to Dallas. Storm arrival between noon and 2. Peak threat through the afternoon and early evening. Stay weather aware, McKinney, Texas. Storms push through mid-afternoon, roughly 1 to 5 in the evening. Hail and damaging winds, the primary threats, Sherman, Texas. One of the communities closest to the Red River Valley. Storm arrival around 1 in the afternoon. This area sits squarely in the supercell corridor, Texarkana, Texas, and Arkansas. The back edge of the severe weather zone. Storms reach here between 3 and 7 in the evening on Wednesday, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Morning storm activity 6 to 10. A lull possible midday, then a secondary round of storms pushing back through afternoon into evening. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Watching for storm development north of the city in the morning, then a southward push. By afternoon, storms could be southeast of the metro. Peak threat between 1 and 6 in the afternoon. Lawton, Oklahoma. Storms arrive from the northwest in the afternoon, roughly 1 to 3. Hail and wind, the primary threats, Fort Smith, Arkansas, one of the highest risk points in the corridor. Storm arrival between noon and 2. Severe weather through the afternoon and evening, Little Rock, Arkansas. Storms arrive in the afternoon, 2 to 5 in the evening. Heavy rain, possible severe weather on the southern edge of the main threat area, Shreveport, Louisiana. Watching for storm activity late afternoon into the evening, 3 to 8. Heavy rain, gusty winds. Now here is what makes Wednesday even more complicated. While the severe weather threat is unfolding in the south and southwest, the flooding threat continues in the Ohio Valley. Repeated rounds of rain through Tuesday and Wednesday create a situation where the ground simply cannot absorb any more water. Rivers and streams begin to rise. Creeks overflow. If you live near any of the following rivers, pay attention starting Tuesday. The Meramec River in Missouri, the Current River, the Black River, the Wabash in Indiana and Illinois, the Green River in Kentucky. All of these are being watched for potential flooding by midweek. Let me stop right here and tell you something critical. Do you know what to do if your area receives a flash flood warning? Not a watch, a warning. That means flooding is occurring or imminent. Do not drive through flooded roads. 6 inches of moving water can knock you off your feet. 2 feet of moving water can carry away most vehicles. Turn around, do not drown. That phrase saves lives. Please remember it. Now let me deliver on a promise I made at the top. More than 250 cities. Your city. Let us go region by region with specific timing and conditions. The upper Midwest and Great Lakes. Minneapolis, Minnesota, Arctic high pressure holding through early this week, temperatures in the teens to low 20s, then a brief warming trend by midweek before the next cold push. Snow possible late in the week, roughly Thursday into Friday. Snowfall accumulations of 2 to 4 inches possible, St. Paul, Minnesota, same timeline as Minneapolis. Cold, then a brief warm-up, then snow threat Thursday night through Friday. Duluth, Minnesota. Cold and blustery to start the week. Lake effect snow enhancement possible Wednesday through Thursday. Accumulations could reach 4 to 8 inches near the shore. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Lake effect snow threat from Lake Michigan Tuesday into Wednesday, 2 to 5 inches possible. Temperatures holding in the mid-20s, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Cold start to the week, 20s to low 30s. Rain and snow mix possible Wednesday. Minor accumulations, Madison, Wisconsin. Temperatures near freezing to start the week. Rain arriving Tuesday afternoon, possible ice mixing Wednesday morning before warming, Chicago, Illinois. Rain arrives Tuesday evening, heavy at times Wednesday. Flooding risk along the Des Plaines River and Chicago River system. No significant ice or snow threat for the city itself this event. Temperatures in the mid-30s to mid-40s, Rockford, Illinois. Rain Tuesday evening continuing Wednesday. Ground already saturated from previous events. Minor flooding possible along the Rock River, Peoria, Illinois. Rain begins Tuesday afternoon. Heaviest totals Wednesday. Illinois river levels being monitored. Could see some bank flooding by late Wednesday, Springfield, Illinois. Rain Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday. 2 to 4 inches possible in a short time frame. Champaign, Urbana, Illinois. Rain arrives Tuesday evening, heavy Wednesday. Flooding concern for low-lying areas. Evansville, Indiana. Rain Tuesday night into Wednesday. 3 to 5 inches possible. Ohio River tributaries being watched. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Rain arrives Wednesday. Heavier totals expected south of the city. Snow possible on the northern edge late in the week. Indianapolis, Indiana. Rain begins Tuesday night. Continues through Wednesday. Heavy at times. Minor urban flooding possible. Flooding concern along Eagle Creek and White River, Terre Haute, Indiana. Rain Tuesday night, heavy Wednesday. Wabash River being monitored. Columbus, Indiana. Rain Tuesday into Wednesday. Significant totals possible. Detroit, Michigan. Cold to start. Rain arrives Tuesday night. Mostly rain for the city. Snow possible in the northern suburbs. Flooding concern along the River Rouge, Flint, Michigan. Temperatures hovering near freezing. Rain or snow mix possible. Watch for ice Tuesday night. Lansing, Michigan. Rain Tuesday into Wednesday. Minor accumulations of snow possible early. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Lake effect enhancement from Lake Michigan adds snow potential Tuesday through Wednesday north of the city. The city itself sees mixed precipitation. Traverse City, Michigan. Snow through the week. Lake effect adding significant totals north and northeast of the city. 4 to 8 inches possible. Marquette, Michigan. Heavy lake effect snow from Lake Superior. 6 to 14 inches possible through Thursday. Toledo, Ohio. Rain Tuesday night, heavy Wednesday. Maumee River being watched for flooding. Cleveland, Ohio. Rain arrives Wednesday. Lake effect snow possible on the backside of the system Thursday. Minor accumulations in the city, heavier south and east of the city, Akron, Ohio. Rain Wednesday. Possible snow mix late Wednesday night into Thursday morning, Youngstown, Ohio. Cold air trying to hold on. Rain Wednesday could mix with snow, especially early in the morning, Columbus, Ohio. Rain Tuesday night through Wednesday. 3 to 5 inches total. Urban flooding possible. Dayton, Ohio. Rain begins Tuesday night. Heavy Wednesday. Great Miami River levels being monitored. Cincinnati, Ohio. Rain arrives Tuesday evening. Continues heavy through Wednesday. Ohio River watching. This area is in the bullseye for heavy totals. The south and deep south, Memphis, Tennessee. Rain begins Tuesday afternoon. This one is heavy and prolonged. Tuesday afternoon through Wednesday evening, 4 to 6 inches possible. Wolf River and Loosahachie River being watched for flooding. Nashville, Tennessee. Rain arrives Tuesday evening. Heavy Wednesday. Cumberland River and its tributaries being monitored. Urban flooding risk is real here. Knoxville, Tennessee. Rain Tuesday night into Wednesday. 2 to 4 inches possible. Tennessee River system being watched. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Rain arrives Wednesday. 3 to 5 inches possible. Tennessee River already elevated. Jackson, Tennessee. Rain Tuesday evening, heavy overnight and into Wednesday. Clarksville, Tennessee. Rain Tuesday into Wednesday. Red River being watched. Louisville, Kentucky. Rain begins Tuesday evening. Very heavy Wednesday. Ohio River at Louisville being carefully monitored. This area could see significant river rises by late Wednesday into Thursday. Lexington, Kentucky. Rain Tuesday night into Wednesday. 3 to 5 inches possible. Bowling Green, Kentucky. Rain Tuesday night. Heavy Wednesday. Barren River levels being watched. Paducah, Kentucky. This is one of the most flood-prone areas in the region where the Tennessee, Ohio, and Cumberland rivers meet. Rain begins Tuesday afternoon. Ohio River levels will rise significantly by Thursday. Paducah residents, this is your early warning. Know your flood zone. Owensboro, Kentucky. Rain Tuesday evening, heavy Wednesday. Ohio River levels rising through the week. Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Rain Tuesday night into Wednesday. St. Louis, Missouri. This city sits right in the bullseye, Dallas to Little Rock to St. Louis. That is the heaviest rainfall corridor. Rain begins Tuesday morning, becomes heavy by afternoon, continues through Wednesday. Mississippi River and Missouri River confluence means any significant event here is magnified. 4 to 8 inches possible through Wednesday. St. Louis residents, this is not a drill. If you live in the floodplain, know your evacuation route. Kansas City, Missouri. Rain arrives Tuesday afternoon, heavy at times through Wednesday. Missouri River being watched, 3 to 5 inches possible. Springfield, Missouri. Rain begins Tuesday noon, heavy through Wednesday, multiple rounds of storms. This is one of the earliest communities to see the pattern change arrive. Joplin, Missouri. Rain Tuesday afternoon, continues overnight and Wednesday. Heavy totals possible. Columbia, Missouri. Rain Tuesday afternoon, heaviest Tuesday night and Wednesday. Missouri River Basin watching closely. Jefferson City, Missouri. Rain begins Tuesday. Missouri River already seasonal. Any additional rain raises flooding concern quickly. Kirksville, Missouri. Rain Tuesday into Wednesday. Flash flooding possible in low-lying areas. Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Rain Tuesday evening into Wednesday. Mississippi River levels a concern. Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Rain begins Tuesday. Black River and Current River watching. Sykeston, Missouri. Rain Tuesday evening. Mississippi River flood watch possible by Wednesday night. Hannibal, Missouri. Rain Tuesday into Wednesday. Mississippi River watching. Rolla, Missouri. Rain Tuesday afternoon. Osage and Gasconade Rivers watching. Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. Little Rock, Arkansas. Rain arrives Wednesday. 3 to 5 inches possible through Thursday. Arkansas River being monitored. Severe weather possible Wednesday afternoon. Fort Smith, Arkansas. This is in the active severe weather corridor. Storm activity begins Wednesday morning. Severe weather possible Wednesday afternoon and evening. Significant rain totals Thursday. Fayetteville, Arkansas. Rain and storms. Wednesday. Severe weather possible. Illinois River watching. Jonesboro, Arkansas. Rain Wednesday evening. Mississippi River Delta area. Flooding possible. Texarkana, Arkansas, and Texas. Storms arrive Wednesday afternoon. Severe weather threat real. Rain continues through Thursday. Hot Springs, Arkansas. Rain Wednesday into Thursday. Wachita River watching. Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Rain Wednesday. Arkansas River watching. El Dorado, Arkansas. Rain Wednesday evening. Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is one of the most active cities through this event. Morning storm activity Wednesday. Severe weather including hail and damaging winds. Secondary round Wednesday afternoon and evening. Arkansas River being monitored. 3 to 5 inches rain total. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Wednesday storm activity. Severe weather north of the city in the morning, then pushing southeast. North Canadian River and Canadian River watching. 2 to 4 inches total. Lawton, Oklahoma. Storms arrive Wednesday afternoon. Hail and wind threats. Norman, Oklahoma. Wednesday afternoon and evening. Severe weather corridor southeast of Oklahoma City. Enid, Oklahoma. Morning storm activity Wednesday. Hail threat elevated. Stillwater, Oklahoma. Morning and early afternoon Wednesday. Hail producers likely. Shawnee, Oklahoma. Wednesday storms possible. South Canadian River watching. Muskogee, Oklahoma. Rain and storms Wednesday evening. Arkansas River watching. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Part of the Tulsa metro area. Wednesday storm activity morning through evening. Dallas, Texas. I already gave you the exact Wednesday timing. Noon to 2 arrival. Peak threat 2 to 7 evening. But let me be clear about what comes after Wednesday as well. Continued rain through Thursday. Totals of 4 to 6 inches for the Dallas Metroplex through Thursday night. Trinity River levels will rise. Low water crossings will be impassable. Plan accordingly. Fort Worth, Texas. Same timing and totals as Dallas. Clear Creek and West Fork Trinity River being watched. Arlington, Texas. Wednesday afternoon storm arrival. Flooding possible in low-lying areas Wednesday evening into Thursday. Plano, Texas. Wednesday afternoon, hail threat north of Dallas, McKinney, Texas. One of the higher threat areas north of Dallas. Wednesday early afternoon, Sherman, Texas. Red River Valley. Wednesday afternoon, serious storm threat, Waco, Texas. Rain arrives Wednesday afternoon. Brazos River being watched carefully. 3 to 5 inches expected. Austin, Texas. Rain begins Wednesday evening. Heavier totals Thursday. Colorado River and Barton Creek watching. 3 to 4 inches possible. San Antonio, Texas. Rain Thursday. Medina River and Guadalupe River watching. 2 to 3 inches possible. Houston, Texas. Rain Thursday evening into Friday. Buffalo Bayou and Brays Bayou watching. 2 to 4 inches possible. Beaumont, Texas. Rain Friday. Neches River watching. 2 to 3 inches. Corpus Christi, Texas. Rain late in the week, Thursday into Friday, 1 to 2 inches, Lubbock, Texas. Drier through the event, but some rain possible Thursday, 1 inch or less, Amarillo, Texas. Dry through most of the event. Possible light rain Friday, Abilene, Texas. Rain Wednesday evening into Thursday, 2 to 3 inches, Midland, Odessa, Texas. Mostly dry through the event. Possible light rain late week, El Paso, Texas. Mostly dry. Pattern change brings some moisture, but not significant totals. Possible light showers Thursday, Tyler, Texas. Rain Wednesday afternoon and evening. Neches River watching, 3 to 4 inches. Longview, Texas. Rain Wednesday evening. Sabine River watching, 3 to 4 inches. Louisiana. Shreveport, Louisiana. Rain and storm activity, Wednesday afternoon and evening. Red River watching, 3 to 5 inches. Severe weather on the edge of the corridor. Bossier City, Louisiana. Same timing as Shreveport. Red River flooding possible by Thursday. Monroe, Louisiana. Rain Wednesday evening. Ouachita River watching. Alexandria, Louisiana. Rain Thursday. Red and Black Rivers watching. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Rain Thursday evening. Mississippi River already elevated from upstream events. New Orleans, Louisiana. Rain Friday. Mississippi River watching long-term, 1 to 2 inches locally. Lake Charles, Louisiana. Rain Thursday. Calcasieu River watching, 2 to 3 inches. Lafayette, Louisiana. Rain Thursday afternoon. Vermilion River watching, Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. Rain Wednesday evening through Thursday. Pearl River watching, 3 to 4 inches possible. Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Rain Thursday, 2 to 3 inches. Biloxi, Gulfport, Mississippi. Rain Thursday into Friday, 1 to 2 inches. Gulf Coast seeing the edge of the system. Meridian, Mississippi. Rain Wednesday night, 2 to 3 inches. Tupelo, Mississippi. Rain Wednesday evening. Tennessee River tributaries watching, 2 to 3 inches. Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama. Rain Thursday. Tennessee River watching, 2 to 3 inches. Birmingham, Alabama. This is one of the drier spots in the southeast during this event, 1 to 2 inches possible. But the system is not completely missing you. Montgomery, Alabama, rain possible Thursday, but light, 1 inch or less. Mobile, Alabama, mostly dry through this event. Possible light showers late week. Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, 1 to 2 inches possible Thursday. But Atlanta is largely missing the Maine rainfall shield, and that is bad news because Atlanta and North Georgia are already in drought conditions. Savannah, Georgia, mostly dry, less than half an inch. Augusta, Georgia, light rain possible Thursday, less than 1 inch. Macon, Georgia, light showers Thursday, under an inch. Columbus, Georgia, mostly dry. Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, essentially dry through this entire event. This is the worst news for Northeast Florida. Drought conditions will persist and likely intensify. Orlando, Florida, dry. Extreme drought continues. No relief in sight for the next 10 days. Tampa, Florida, dry. Extreme drought conditions worsening. Water restrictions are possible in the coming weeks. Miami, Florida, dry. South Florida already stressed by drought. No significant rainfall in the forecast. Tallahassee, Florida. Possibly some light showers late in the week, but nothing meaningful. Under half an inch. Gainesville, Florida. Dry. Drought conditions persist. Fort Myers, Florida. Dry. Southwest Florida deeply in drought. West Palm Beach, Florida. Dry. Extreme drought category. Pensacola, Florida. Possible light showers Thursday. Under 1 inch, not nearly enough. Key West, Florida. Dry. Drought conditions, Carolinas and Virginia. Charlotte, North Carolina, dry through most of the event. Possible light showers late in the week, under 1 inch. Drought concerns for the Piedmont region. Raleigh, North Carolina, dry through the event. Below normal precipitation continues. Greensboro, North Carolina, dry. Possible light showers late week. Durham, North Carolina, dry through the event. Wilmington, North Carolina, dry. Coastal Carolinas missing the main rainfall. Columbia, South Carolina, dry. Under 1 inch possible late week. Charleston, South Carolina, dry. Below normal rainfall trend continues. Greenville, South Carolina, possible light showers. Under half an inch. Richmond, Virginia, mostly dry through this event. Possible light showers Thursday. Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Virginia, mostly dry. Coastal area missing the main rain. Roanoke, Virginia, possible light rain Thursday, under 1 inch. The Northeast, Washington, District of Columbia, light rain possible Wednesday into Thursday, under 1 inch. National Cherry Blossom Festival preparations are underway downtown. Early blooms reported, but a cold push is possible next week that could damage them. Baltimore, Maryland, light rain Wednesday evening, under 1 inch. Cold air returns late in the week. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, light rain Wednesday evening, under 1 inch. Cold air returns Friday. New York City, New York, light rain Wednesday evening, under 1 inch. Cold air returns Thursday night. Wind chill advisory possible this weekend, Newark, New Jersey. Light rain Wednesday, under 1 inch. Cold air late week, Trenton, New Jersey. Light rain Wednesday evening, Hartford, Connecticut. Mostly dry through midweek. Cold air and possible snow late week, Providence, Rhode Island. Remember I mentioned that nor'easter that buried Providence under 40 inches of snow just recently? Another cold push is coming late this week. Snow possible in northern Rhode Island Friday into Saturday, but accumulation should be much lighter. 1 to 3 inches, Boston, Massachusetts. Mostly dry through midweek. Cold air returns late week. Possible light snow or flurries Friday. Portland, Maine. Cold through the event. Snow possible late week. 2 to 5 inches accumulation possible Friday into Saturday. Bangor, Maine. Snow threat grows Friday through Saturday. 3 to 6 inches possible. Buffalo, New York. Cold to start. Lake effect snow from Lake Erie possible Tuesday through Wednesday. 3 to 6 inches near the lake shore. Temperatures in the mid-20s, Rochester, New York. Lake effect snow from Lake Ontario possible Wednesday into Thursday. 3 to 8 inches possible. Syracuse, New York, one of the snowiest cities in the nation. Lake effect snow continues through the week. 6 to 12 inches possible accumulation Wednesday through Friday. Albany, New York. Cold. Possible light snow Wednesday. Heavier snow on the backside of the system if cold air returns fast enough Friday. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Rain Wednesday. 3 to 4 inches possible. Three Rivers watching Allegheny, Monongahela, and Ohio. Cold air returns Thursday into Friday. Allentown, Pennsylvania. Rain Wednesday, under 2 inches. Cold air returns quickly. Scranton, Pennsylvania. Cold. Rain or snow mix Wednesday. Minor accumulations. Erie, Pennsylvania. Lake effect snow from Lake Erie. 3 to 6 inches through midweek. The Mountain West and Plains. Denver, Colorado. Cold to start the week. Possible snow in the mountains to the west Tuesday into Wednesday. Denver itself stays mostly dry but cold. Temperatures near 20 to 28 degrees. A storm system arriving late in the week could bring 3 to 6 inches to the Denver metro area Friday into Saturday. Colorado Springs, Colorado. Cold and dry early week. Snow possible Friday, 2 to 5 inches. Pueblo, Colorado. Dry and cold early week. Snow threat late week. Boulder, Colorado. Cold. Mountain snows continue. Possible valley snow late week. Fort Collins, Colorado. Cold. Possible snow Thursday night into Friday. 2 to 4 inches. Grand Junction, Colorado. Dry and cold. Below normal precipitation. Trend continues for western Colorado, Cheyenne, Wyoming. Cold. Snow possible Tuesday into Wednesday. 3 to 6 inches. Casper, Wyoming. Cold. Snow midweek. 2 to 5 inches possible. Jackson, Wyoming. Mountain snow continues. Significant accumulation possible. 6 to 12 inches midweek. Billings, Montana. Cold. Snow possible Tuesday into Wednesday. 2 to 4 inches, Great Falls, Montana. Snow threat midweek, 3 to 6 inches, Missoula, Montana. Snow continuing, mountain totals adding up. Boise, Idaho. Cold. Snow at higher elevations. Valley could see light snow Tuesday, 1 to 2 inches. Pocatello, Idaho. Snow possible Tuesday into Wednesday, 2 to 4 inches. Idaho Falls, Idaho. Snow midweek, 3 to 5 inches possible. Salt Lake City, Utah. Cold air settling in. Snowstorm possible late in the week as the pattern change evolves. 3 to 6 inches for the valley. Much higher totals in the mountains. Provo, Utah. Similar to Salt Lake City. Snow late week. Ogden, Utah. Cold. Possible significant snow late in the week. Las Vegas, Nevada. Dry and cool. Temperatures in the low to mid-50s. Mostly dry through the pattern change. Reno, Nevada. Cold. Possible rain or snow mix early in the week. Mountain snows adding to the snowpack. Carson City, Nevada. Cold. Light snow possible early week. Phoenix, Arizona. Dry and mild. Temperatures in the low to mid-70s this week. Some cooling possible by the weekend. Tucson, Arizona. Dry and mild. Temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. Flagstaff, Arizona. Cold. Snow possible at elevation this week. 2 to 5 inches at the rim. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Dry and cool. Temperatures in the mid-50s. Possible light precipitation late week. Santa Fe, New Mexico. Cold. Snow possible at elevation late in the week. Omaha, Nebraska. Cold to start the week. Rain arrives Tuesday evening, 2 to 3 inches possible Wednesday. Some snow possible on the backside Thursday. Lincoln, Nebraska, rain Tuesday evening, 2 to 3 inches Wednesday. Cold air returns Thursday. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, cold. Snow possible Tuesday into Wednesday, 3 to 5 inches. Rapid City, South Dakota, cold. Snow possible Tuesday into Wednesday, 2 to 4 inches. Fargo, North Dakota, cold. Snow through midweek, 2 to 4 inches. Bismarck, North Dakota, cold. Snow possible Tuesday into Wednesday, 1 to 3 inches. Wichita, Kansas, rain arrives Tuesday evening, 2 to 4 inches possible through Wednesday. Some severe weather cannot be ruled out on the southern edge. Topeka, Kansas, rain Tuesday evening, 2 to 3 inches Wednesday. Kansas River being watched. Kansas City, Kansas, rain Tuesday afternoon, heavy at times. Missouri River watching. Salina, Kansas, rain Tuesday evening, 2 to 3 inches. Hutchinson, Kansas, rain arrives Tuesday afternoon, 2 to 3 inches. Dodge City, Kansas, rain Tuesday, 1 to 2 inches. Des Moines, Iowa, rain arrives Tuesday afternoon, 2 to 4 inches through Wednesday. Des Moines River watching. Cedar Rapids, Iowa, rain Tuesday, 2 to 3 inches. Cedar River being monitored. Davenport, Iowa, rain Tuesday evening. Mississippi River already elevated, 2 to 4 inches. Iowa City, Iowa, rain Tuesday afternoon. Iowa River watching, 2 to 3 inches. Sioux City, Iowa, rain Tuesday. Missouri River watching, 2 to 3 inches. Waterloo, Iowa, rain Tuesday evening. Cedar River watching the West Coast. Seattle, Washington, rain this week as usual, but nothing extreme. 1 to 2 inches through the week. Tacoma, Washington, rain continuing, 1 to 2 inches. Spokane, Washington, some snow possible in the mountains. Valley sees mostly rain mixed with some snow early in the week. Portland, Oregon, rain continuing, 2 to 3 inches through the week. Willamette River at seasonal levels. Eugene, Oregon, rain continuing, 2 to 3 inches. Medford, Oregon, lighter rain, 1 to 2 inches. San Francisco, California, rain possible early in the week as a system pushes through, 1 to 2 inches, then drying out. Sacramento, California, rain Monday into Tuesday, 1 to 2 inches, then drying and warming midweek. Fresno, California, mostly dry. Possible light rain Monday. Los Angeles, California, mostly dry and mild. Temperatures in the upper 60s. Slight rain chance Monday, but under half an inch. San Diego, California, mostly dry and mild. Temperatures in the low 70s. San Jose, California, rain early in the week, 1 inch or less, then drying out. Bakersfield, California, mostly dry. Possible very light rain Monday. Let me pause here for a moment because I want to walk you back through what we have covered in the last few minutes and reinforce the most critical information. I know some of you are watching this on your phone while your coffee is brewing. I know some of you are going to replay this. So let me give you the highlights again in plain English. Tuesday, March 3rd. Rain begins in the central United States. Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio. Rivers start rising. Repeated rounds of storms. Do not let this one sneak up on you. Wednesday, March 4th, the most dangerous single day of this event. Severe weather from the Tulsa area south through Oklahoma City into Dallas, Fort Worth, Texarkana, and Fort Smith, Arkansas. The Storm Prediction Center says slight risk. That means all hazards possible. Damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes cannot be ruled out. Morning threat in northern Oklahoma, afternoon and evening threat in North Texas and southeast Oklahoma. That is the corridor. That is where I am most concerned. Wednesday also brings flooding risk from Missouri down through the Ohio Valley. 2 threats at the same time in overlapping areas. Be prepared for both. Thursday, March 5th. Rain continues across the midsection. Rivers rise further. Flooding threat expands. The system slowly exits to the northeast, but the rain does not fully end. Through March 10th, more rounds of moisture flowing northward on the subtropical jet. Soil continues to saturate. Flash flooding remains a concern even from routine storms. March 10th to 12th, the next big system, already being flagged by models and ensembles. More details coming in my next video. That is the story. That is what is coming. And you are now one of the informed people in your neighborhood. Here is something I want you to think about as we go into this week. Your neighbors might not know any of this. They might hear thunder Wednesday afternoon and be caught off guard. Share this information, not because it earns me a subscriber or a like, though I appreciate both. Share it because people you care about deserve to know what is coming. Flood insurance does not cover cars swept away in flash floods. Emergency rooms cannot always help people who wait too long to evacuate. Information shared early saves lives. Please pass this along. I also want to address something that comes up in the comments a lot. People ask me whether weather forecasts this far out are reliable. It is a fair question, and here is my honest answer. The further out you go, the lower the confidence in any specific detail. The track of a storm on day 7 or 8 can shift by 50 or 100 miles between now and then. The exact timing can be off by several hours, but the overall pattern, the big picture signal, that is what I base long-range discussions on. And right now, the big picture signal is about as clear as I have seen for a March event in recent memory. Multiple models, multiple ensemble sets, all pointing in the same direction. A very active pattern for the central United States through mid-March. That is not a guess. That is a convergence of forecast data that gives me a high level of confidence in the overall story, even if some details need to be refined. That is why I update the forecast every 48 hours. Because as we get closer, the details sharpen, the track narrows, the timing becomes more precise, and I will bring you those updates as they come. Now let me talk about something that does not get enough attention in weather coverage. What happens after the storm? Because flooding is not just a during the storm problem, it is an after the storm problem that can last for days or even weeks. Here is what I mean. When 4 to 6 inches of rain falls in a short period across the Missouri River Basin or the Ohio River Basin, that water does not just disappear, it flows downhill, into creeks, into rivers. Those rivers rise, peak, and then take days or even weeks to recede back to normal levels. The Ohio River at Cincinnati, for example, can take 3 to 5 days after major rainfall upstream in Indiana and Ohio to reach its own crest. The Mississippi River below St. Louis can take even longer. So even if the rain stops Wednesday night, the flooding story for communities along major rivers is not over until well into the following week. This is critically important for anyone who lives in a river community downstream from the heavy rain zone. I want to name some of those communities specifically. If you live in Cairo, Illinois, at the confluence of the Ohio and Mississippi rivers, watch the river gauge all week. This area is vulnerable to every major rain event upstream across the entire Ohio Valley. If you live in Wickliffe, Kentucky, or Ballard County, same warning. You are downstream and the rivers take time to rise to you. If you live in Henderson, Kentucky, or Owensboro, Kentucky along the Ohio River, watch for a river rise 3 to 4 days after the heaviest rainfall. If you live in Cairo, Illinois, you are at the bottom of 2 major drainage basins and you feel every event twice. Communities along the lower Mississippi and Missouri and Arkansas below St. Louis should monitor river conditions starting Friday through the following week, even if the rain is long past. I also want to address the snowfall picture more thoroughly for our northern tier viewers because you have a slightly different story this week. The cold air this week comes in from the northwest behind a departing system. That means a northwest flow pattern sets up across the Great Lakes. Northwest flow is the setup for lake effect snow. Lake effect snow is different from regular snowfall because it is extremely localized. It can dump 1 to 2 feet of snow in a very narrow band while the sun shines in a community 20 miles away. If you live in the traditional lake effect snow belts, here is what you are watching this week. The Lake Erie Snowbelt covers communities southeast of the lake. That means Erie, Pennsylvania, Jamestown, New York, Dunkirk, New York, Buffalo, New York, specifically the south towns south of Buffalo Orchard Park, Hamburg, Springville, Ellicottville. These communities can see significant lake effect totals, 4 to 10 inches possible in the most active bands Tuesday through Wednesday. The Lake Ontario Snowbelt covers communities south and southeast of the lake. That means Oswego, New York, Pulaski, New York. These are legendary snowbelt communities. Syracuse, New York sits in the bull's eye. Cortland, New York, Ithaca, New York. 6 to 12 inches possible in the most active bands Wednesday through Thursday. The Lake Michigan Snowbelt affects communities on the eastern shore of Michigan. Grand Haven, Holland, South Haven. These areas can see significant lake effect snow Tuesday into Wednesday if northwest winds align. And I want to give a specific note to snowmobile and ski enthusiasts. If you are planning a trip to the Adirondacks in New York, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, northern Wisconsin, or the Boundary Waters area of Minnesota this week, the snow conditions are going to be excellent following this round of lake effect activity. But the travel to get there Wednesday could be very difficult. Plan to arrive Tuesday or wait until Thursday. Now, I need to talk to you about something that affects not just your weather, but your plans and your pocketbook. Because there are major events happening across this country right now, and weather is going to play a role. If you have tickets to the World Baseball Classic, which is running from March 5th through March 17th in cities across the United States, including Miami, Houston, and others, pay attention. Houston games could see weather impacts from rainfall Thursday and Friday of this week. Miami games face dry conditions, but warm and humid air is building. Check the specific game day forecasts as we get closer. NCAA March Madness is just weeks away. The first and second rounds begin in mid-March and are played in indoor arenas, so the basketball itself is not affected. But traveling to games, that is a different story. If you are road tripping to a tournament site in the Midwest or South, the weather between now and mid-March matters. The flooding risk this week could impact road travel significantly. Be prepared for possible road closures along Interstate 40 in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Interstate 30 through Texas and Arkansas could see ponding and closures Wednesday and Thursday. Plan your travel routes carefully. If you are planning outdoor activities, hiking, fishing, spring gardening in the central part of the country, do not make firm plans for Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday of this week. Postpone or be flexible. Spring training is in full swing across Arizona and Florida. Grapefruit League games in Florida will see dry and hot conditions, but the drought is a background concern for the Florida communities hosting these teams. And now I want to go back to something I said earlier that I want you to hold on to, that 10 to 12-day storm system developing around March 10th, 11th, and 12th. Both the European model and the American model, the two most sophisticated numerical forecast tools on the planet, are picking up on a significant low-pressure system developing by around that time frame. And here is what makes it more than a normal forecast. The ensembles are showing it. When I say ensembles, I mean the dozens of individual forecast runs that show the range of possible outcomes. When many of those individual runs agree on a storm signal, that is not noise, that is a signal. And right now, a striking number of ensemble members are showing a strong storm system between March 10th and March 12th. This matters because the areas that get 6 to 8 inches of rain in the first 10 days of March are going to be sitting on saturated soil by the time that second system arrives. Saturated soil means that even a moderate rainfall event can trigger flash flooding. Creeks and rivers that rose once will not have had time to fully recede before they face another surge. If you live near any tributary river, any creek, any stream in Missouri, Arkansas, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, or Ohio, you need to keep an eye on the water levels from now through mid-March. And the severe weather concern does not end with March 4th. The setup around March 10th to 12th also has severe weather potential. The supercell composite parameter, which is the formula meteorologists use to evaluate how favorable the atmosphere is for producing violent thunderstorms, is showing elevated values across a wide swath from Indiana and Ohio down into Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana through that mid-March timeframe. Tornado risk cannot be dismissed. Here is what I need you to do right now, and this is practical, actionable, and could genuinely save your life or protect your property. Step 1. Download a weather alert app on your phone tonight. The National Weather Service app is free. Enable push notifications for your county. This takes 3 minutes and could be the most important 3 minutes you spend this week. Step 2. Know your flood zone. Go to the Federal Emergency Management Agency flood map at msc.fema.gov and type in your address. If you are in a special flood hazard area, you need to know it before the rain begins, not during. Step 3. If you live near a river or creek in Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, Ohio, or Oklahoma, start checking the United States Geological Survey river gauge data. It is at waterdata.usgs.gov. You can track your local stream's water level in real time. Watch for rapid rises. Step 4. Wednesday is a weather action day for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, the Red River Valley, southeastern Oklahoma, and western Arkansas. On that day, please do the following. Charge your phone before noon. Know where the lowest floor of your home or building is. Have shoes by your bed that night. Keep your car's gas tank full. Have a battery-powered weather radio. Step 5. Comment below right now and tell me the city and state where you live. I will reply to as many as I can with a specific localized update for your exact area. This community has grown to nearly 156,000 people who rely on this information. Let us use that community. Tell me where you are, and I will tell you what is coming. Now let me leave you with this. March is historically the month when the weather pattern for the entire spring season gets established. The storm track that develops in March tends to persist. If we come out of this first 2 weeks of March with a highly active storm track across the southern plains and Ohio Valley, and all the data says we will, that pattern is likely to continue into April. That means more severe weather potential, more flooding risk, more active spring than we have seen in several years. I will have a full update for you in 48 hours covering specifically the March 10th to 12th event, as the models begin to agree on specifics. That update will include a city-by-city breakdown for that system as well. And I will tell you whether the tornado threat for that mid-March storm is significant enough to warrant a specific alert. You do not want to miss that video. Until then, stay weather aware. If you live in the Central Plains or Ohio Valley, please take the next 24 hours to make sure your emergency kit is stocked, your phone alerts are on, and your family has a plan. Because this week, starting Tuesday afternoon and running through Thursday, is going to be a significant weather week for tens of millions of Americans. Let me also give you a word about the temperature pattern for the next 2 weeks, because temperature matters beyond comfort. It affects everything from ice on the roads to wildfire conditions to agricultural planning. Here is what the temperature pattern looks like through mid-March. Right now, this Sunday evening, an Arctic high-pressure system is pouring cold air down from Canada into the upper Midwest. Wind chills in Minneapolis are near zero. Sioux Falls is seeing wind chills of 5 below zero tonight. Even Chicago is in the single digits for wind chill. If you are heading to church tomorrow morning in Wisconsin, Minnesota, or the Dakotas, dress in layers. Frostbite can develop on exposed skin in as little as 30 minutes in these conditions. That cold air eases through Monday as a warmer southwest flow begins to develop ahead of the system that brings the rain Wednesday. Temperatures in Dallas climb to the upper 60s by Tuesday afternoon before the storms arrive Wednesday. Memphis and Nashville warm into the low 60s Tuesday before rain arrives. St. Louis reaches the mid-50s Tuesday, then turns cooler as heavy rain arrives. The key temperature story for the second week of March is the warm side of the pattern change. With the subtropical jet stream pumping warm Pacific Ocean air northward, the eastern half of the country is going to see temperatures run significantly above normal for this time of year. Cities like Nashville, Charlotte, Atlanta, and Richmond could see temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s for several days running in the March 8 through 12 timeframe. And then this is the part that is unusual. The western United States begins to cool as troughs develop off the Pacific coast. Los Angeles, which has been comfortably warm and dry, begins to see cooling late in the period. Denver, which briefly warms, cools sharply again by the middle of the month as the trough deepens off the coast. This east warm, west cool temperature pattern is the signature of the La Nina-influenced circulation that has been with us all winter, and it appears to be locked in place through at least the middle of March. One more thing I want to address specifically for farmers and ranchers across the southern plains. This forecast matters enormously for your spring planting timeline and your wheat fields. Oklahoma and Texas winter wheat has been stressed by the drought. The rainfall coming this week is critically needed, but here is the concern. Too much rain too fast can also cause problems. If 6 or more inches falls over clay soils in Oklahoma or Texas in a 2-day window, the water cannot infiltrate fast enough. It runs off. It ponds. Fields become unworkable for days or weeks. And standing water on winter wheat during heading season causes disease pressure. So while the drought relief is welcome, the intensity of this rainfall is something producers need to watch. Plan for ponding in low-lying fields. Make sure tile drainage systems are clear, and give the soil time to drain before any field operations. For cattle producers in Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri, the flooding of low-lying pastures is a real concern this week. Move cattle to higher ground before Tuesday afternoon. Do not wait. Flash flooding in creek bottoms can happen very fast. and cattle caught in low pastures have nowhere to go. I have covered a lot of ground in this video, more than 250 cities, timing for every major metro area from coast to coast, severe weather details for Wednesday, March 4th, flooding details for the entire week, the mid-March system, lake effect snow, temperature patterns, and specific warnings for river communities and agricultural producers. If you found this useful, please do two things right now. First, comment below with your city and state. Tell me where you live and what your biggest weather concern is this week. I will respond to as many comments as I can with localized detail. Second, if you know someone who lives in the severe weather corridor from Tulsa down to Dallas, a family member, a friend, a colleague, please send them this video tonight, not tomorrow, tonight, because Wednesday arrives faster than we think. And the difference between knowing and not knowing when severe weather is coming could be the difference between a close call and a tragedy. The weather is flipping, the pattern is changing, and you now know exactly